Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We're broadcasting live from Abuja. I'm Rhoda Anonam. Thank you for joining us. Now we'll begin nationwide with the President's visit to Batsari as President Muhammadu Buhari is urging Nigerians, especially victims of the various acts of criminality, to exercise patience and have more faith in his administration's genuine efforts at bringing to an end the worrisome situation. This was during a sympathy visit to Batsari in Katsina State to commemorate with those adversely affected by what he called the senseless killing, maiming and destruction of property by armed bandits in the area. The protection of life and property of citizens, he says, are prime to the essence of government. The president promised to remain focused and determined to secure the country for effective management. As pilgrims conclude the last stages of the annual Hajj rite, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, urged them to imbibe the lessons of the religious pilgrimage, which is a total submission to the will of Almighty Allah. He also called on all Nigerians to respect constituted authorities for the country to remain to attain its set target. Lami Ali reports that the Speaker, alongside some members of the House of Representatives on pilgrimage in Makkah, offered prayers for Nigeria.
The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, emphasized that all holy books contain morals on all facets of human life, stressing that it is important for all people of faith to practice such teachings.
Religion is a leveler. There is no high, there is no mighty. We're all one before the eyes of God.
Nigeria, he added, will achieve peace, prosperity and progress in unity with intensified prayers.
Let us continue to pray. You cannot exist in life without prayers. No country can survive without prayers. We all have our issues, no matter what part of the world you are. That's what life is all about. We have issues, but prayers will surmount everything.
In another development, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has, during an inspection visit to pilgrims from states at their various tents in Minna, announced that airlift of pilgrims back to Nigeria will commence on the 17th of August 2019. Pilgrims from across the world are at the moment engaged in the concluding stages of the annual religious pilgrimage in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole, and his successor, Governor Godwin Obaseki, said there is no infighting within them. They stated this in an interview with newsmen after a closed-door meeting at Iyamu, the country home of the APC national chairman. Goodluck Enani reports that they were there on a sala visit.
The meeting lasted about 2 hours, and both parties briefed the press on the outcome.
Every now and then, from time to time, we have always been meeting. So why will you say it's unusual?
So what do you say about this?
So people like you that are speculating. Even now you are speculating. What is unusual that my brother and I have met, and many people I work with, there is no new face here. And yet for you it's unusual. You are confused. Thank you very much.
We just finished celebrating the former national chairman in Benin, and we decided to come here and also visit with him. So there's nothing unusual. We're celebrating our leaders.
The governor was accompanied on the Salah homage by other top officials of the State Executive Council and some party leaders. From Iyamo, Goodluck Enani, NT News.
The need for a clearly defined constitutional role for deputy governors has been re-echoed as guests on Good Morning Nigeria deliberated on impeachment of deputy governors. The consensus is that only a constitutional amendment will put an end to what they call reckless use of impeachment. Lydia Samsing has the report.
During electioneering campaigns, governors and their deputies work as a team to win elections. But when in office, the power play begins. Personal differences that may have been resolved through dialogue escalate, and in many cases, impeachment is used as an option to discard the deputy. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria are of the view that disagreements can be nipped in the bud through statesmanship and mutual respect.
Collaboration is important in governance between the legislature and the executive. But over cooperation or being subservient to the point where you impede on the human rights and the authority of the other person in order to press that person, just because you have the fund, just because as a stakeholder it will benefit you personally and not looking at the general and public good, is what we are against.
Almost all our governors now were not really elected. It is because of the cloud of Buhari that they were brought in and said they were elected. Why don't they now copy the Buhari style? Buhari has never quarreled with Osinbajo.
The guys noted that most times the allegations are trivial and do not warrant the prolonged process of impeachment, which does not augur well for the development of states.
The deputy governor must recognize the fact that the governor is in charge. But more importantly, the governor, as one of the speakers in your studio has emphasized, must demonstrate statesmanship, because it's easier for you to solve a problem when you are at the helm of affairs than for those who are working with you to be able to assert themselves. So if the governors can bend over backwards to accommodate the deputy governor and make meaning out of that office, then our democracy will benefit.
I think it's a matter of understanding and dialogue. The governors and their deputies and everyone, they are not beyond dialogue. Coming to the table to discuss things, iron out things, to make provisions for the things that need to be done.
We have heaped the entire problem on the shoulders of governors. Yeah, it is true, but not in all cases. For the issue discussed now is Kogi State. Kogi State has been managed until recently, when the deputy governor came on air to make statement. The crisis just did not start just 1 week, 1 month, 2 months ago.
The guys say, well, it is human to err and have misunderstanding. The political terrain can best be harnessed with amicable resolutions as well as mutual respect, with governors and their deputies working together as partners in progress. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
We turn our attention to health now. Following the resurgence of Ebola virus disease in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the World Health Organization has declared the outbreak a public health emergency in line with international health regulations. Consequently, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the NCCA, has directed all airline operators, especially airline operating regional and international flights into the country, to exercise a high level of vigilance. The NCCA Director General Mukhtar Usman, in a statement, also directs all airline pilots to report to air traffic controllers any suspected case of communicable disease on board their flights for Port Health Service to verify and handle appropriately. Now, meanwhile, the initial management and stabilization of a patient in a hospital is a specialty that calls for emergency physicians to take ownership in the emergency room. Joe Osiagu had a chat with Dr. Motunrayo Adetola, a Nigerian-Canadian physician who is raising an army of ER doctors to turn around the emergency department in Nigerian hospitals.
Dr. Motunrayo Adetola is the immediate past president of the Canadian Association of Nigerian Physicians and Dentists, CAMPAD. Many of his colleagues visited Nigeria several times during his tenure to support their medical colleagues in Nigeria. The most recent was the 59th Nigerian Medical Association's annual General Conference in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State in April this year.
We went home with 5 of our colleagues from here to make presentations on topics which included colon cancer screening,
medical education, as well as emergency medicine as a specialty, because unfortunately in Nigeria, we still don't have emergency medicine as a specialty. Doctors are recruited to just go and work in the accident and emergency without the training, and that's not just in the small hospital, even in all the teaching hospitals across Nigeria.
Dr. Olumuyiwa Odushote, the Secretary General of the Nigerian Medical Association, corroborates Adetola's narrative.
People were very happy to have them, and the lectures were stimulating, and then they had hands-on, they came with some mannequins to demonstrate the act of emergency medicine and resuscitation.
We went with the aim of helping to sensitize Nigerian doctors, and also with the aim that if they would want us to, we will actually help in setting up training, fellowship training, as well as certificate training if they want that, with the Nigerian Postgraduate Medical College, as well as the West African Postgraduate Medical College. And I'm also happy to say that an invitation has been extended to us by the Nigerian Medical Association, saying they're able to help facilitate that with the relevant Postgraduate Medical College. We already have an army of emergency room physicians in Canada, and I'm also talking to my colleagues in AMPA, that's the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America, and MANSAC, that's our UK counterparts, to get ready emergency room physicians in these two countries so that we can collaborate together.
In Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, Joy Usiago, NTA News.
If you've just joined us, you're watching Nationwide. Time now for us to join our Ibadan Network Center, where we have Kemi standing by with updates and stories making the rounds over there. Kemi, it's over to you.
Thank you, Rhoda, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The need for a more holistic approach to include psychosocial care in the management of cancer has been advocated for better success in the treatment of the disease. This was the view of experts at a psycho-oncology workshop in Ibadan. That life is transient is a fact rather difficult for many to accept. Sometimes the circumstances leading to this inevitable end makes it more traumatic. This is often the case with cancer, hence the need for psycho-oncology to provide counseling and support for patients and their loved ones.
When you have to be on certain medication because of cancer, let people be psychologically stable when they are on that particular drug.
In the area of teaching, we are now having specialists being produced by the psycho-oncology unit of the Cancer Department in the University of Ibadan.
Cancer accounts for higher number of deaths around the world, and this results in psychological distress, which should be given attention for better success in cancer care.
We need to assess them, and when we do that, we can now give them psycho-oncological management.
Psycho-oncologists at their annual conference in Ibadan agreed that psycho-oncology centers should be established in every cancer treatment center across the country. Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola has promised to continue to run inclusive government that will prioritize the need of the people. He said these when the Department for International Development, DFID, submitted a report on Osun citizens' needs assessment to his office. Femi Afariogun has details.
As requested by Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola upon his assumption of office, the United Kingdom Department of International Development carried out a citizens' need assessment exercise in the state. Submitting its report months after, DFID highlighted key areas the people want Oyetola's government to work on. These areas are agriculture, infrastructure, economy, environment, human capital, and youth development.
As you begin to roll out these plans and meet the needs of citizens and engage with them and hear from them and give them feedback of how progress is being made.
The governor expressed satisfaction with the exercise, stating that he is a firm believer of an inclusive government.
And what I've decided to do, and we will continue to need your assistance from time to time.
DFID is working in collaboration with Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, DAWN, created by the 6 Southwestern state governors. In Osogbo, Femi Abariogun, NTA.
And the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has identified prayer as one of the solutions to the daunting challenges bedeviling Nigeria. General Gowon stated these at the Southwest Zone Nigeria Praise with the theme, Never Again, in Oshogbo, the Osun State capital. Temitope Odebumi has the report.
General Yakubu Gowon expressed hope in Nigerians' greatness through prayers despite challenges the country is facing. He urged Nigerians to continue to embrace peace and foster unity in the country.
Everybody has prayed for the peace, stability, unity, progress of Nigeria.
Different churches and denominations, we pray for Nigeria. I strongly believe that God will provide a solution.
Wife of the Osun State Governor Kafayat Oyetola thanked the convener General Gowon for his continued love of the country and unity, and strongly believe that with prayers Nigerian challenges are surmountable. In Oshogbo, Temitope Odebumi, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the Nigeria Television Authority. More reports after this time out. Stay with us.
Event management are special skills which can only be acquired through training and experience. NTA TV College JOS is organizing a special 2-week course on protocol, event management, and public relations to upgrade the capacities of practitioners. The course will equip participants with modern skills, techniques, and international best practices in protocol, event management, and public relations. Also, a special 4-week intensive course on non-linear editing techniques will run concurrently. The course will expose participants to modern techniques and technologies of non-linear editing. Take advantage of this course to hone your professional skills for premium packaging of your programs and reports. The venue for both courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos, Plateau State. Date 19th to 30th August 2019 for the course on protocol, event management, and public relations. 19th August to 13th September 2019 for basic non-linear editing techniques. Course fee 100,000 naira only per participant. Accommodation inclusive. For more information, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College JOS, training you to be the best you want to be.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Nationwide. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to desist from issuing foreign exchange to individuals or groups identified to be sabotaging the nation's food security program through the importation of rice and other food items into the country. The president gave the warning while receiving members of the Progressive Governors Forum on Salah homage. He also directed more drastic measures against smuggling activities. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
The Progressive Governors Forum, led by its chairman, Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, was at the Dara residence of the president to felicitate with the Nigerian leader on the successful Eid al-Kabir celebrations. The governors used the opportunity to thank the president for not only supporting them in discharging their responsibilities, but also the trust and confidence reposed in them. They pledged to never let him down and invariably their people in the execution of their mandate.
We want to use this opportunity to commend you for the bold and courageous steps you have taken to create a society that works for the majority. And in so doing, you have taken risks that have not been taken before. But the results are all evident today. We are a more secure nation than we were in 2015. We are more prosperous, the economy is picking up and working for the majority, and this is in no small measure as a result of the steps you have taken.
We have our own duty in order to complement your efforts as your field commanders. We promise not to shirk our responsibilities in that regard, because we know that our party is being looked upon as the one with the duty to deliver on a whole range of funds. And challenges notwithstanding, we are grateful that you have led us purposefully in the number of years that you have been in charge.
President Buhari, who thanked the governors for the honor done to him by their visit, takes pride in the achievements recorded by his administration so far in tackling the nation's fundamental challenges. He promised to leave no stone unturned towards guaranteeing sustainable future for the country. The president is in particular delighted that Nigeria has virtually achieved the desired food security, and agriculture is now a truly paying business for all.
We hardly import any rice, and I definitely told the governor of Central Bank he shouldn't give assent to anybody importing food. And here we are saving hundreds of millions of dollars, not naira.
President Muhammadu Buhari used the opportunity to make it clear that portfolios are yet to be assigned the ministers designate, which can be done based on merit after their induction program and oath-taking ceremony. From Daura, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Another set of people living with disability have bid a farewell to daily struggle to prove that there is ability in disability. Ruth Aguele reports that the success is coming from the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development.
Reports indicate that about 29.7 million out of the 15% of the world's population living with disability are said to be in Nigeria. Until recently, when President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Disability Act, there has been clamor for the protection of their rights and inclusion. Daniel Isue is a visually impaired person who lost his sight at age 14 and has been a civil servant for 5 years. Lack of aid to make his work easier has, however, affected his productivity.
The system is not friendly to us. Now, the things we need to work are not being provided for us.
Now, the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development is making this dream a reality by providing empowerment tools for persons living with disability as a way of ending social insecurity amongst them and enable them make an impact in society.
We'll continue to do all we can to ensure that everybody is carried along, everybody is provided needed support as much as we can, so that people are self-sufficient and people will contribute to Nigeria's economic, socio-economic growth.
These items presented, the beneficiaries believe, will go a long way for better livelihood.
This guy's stick, if you can see, the one that I'm using before is so old and looks somehow. But this one, it will be good to me for the mobility.
And government have proved to me that there is hope
There's ability in disability.
That they have tried a lot to make this one to elevated me, to build me more.
It is the expectation from the ministry that the beneficiaries will justify the gesture by making the desired impact. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
A magistrate court sitting in Akure has adjourned till the 16th of August the case of alleged rape of an undergraduate by a soldier. Oluwakemi Ademola reports that the accused was arraigned by the Ondo State Police Command.
Said to the defendant while reacting to the notice of the arraignment, maintained that the counsel to the accused person just served him the court process in the court. He told the court that he needed time to react to the process. Ruling on this, the court ordered that the accused person be remanded at the police custody till Friday, August 16 for proper arraignment.
So what we are seeing is a manifestation of the approval and equally compliance with the protest and request of Mr. Governor that the suspect be investigated and prosecuted.
I'm very sure by that day, the solicitor to the defendant will have filed his own counter affidavit. Then the matter will now go on.
Students to remain calm, that justice will be done on the case.
It will be recalled that the accused allegedly raped a 311 student of Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, in Ondo State last month. In Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
The TV Youth Council and some civil society organizations have staged a peace rally in Abuja seeking investigation into the upsurge in violence and communal clashes in Taraba State. Timothy Yusuf reports.
These are members of the TV Youth Council, Guardians of Democracy and Development, and some civil society organizations protesting the recent killings at the Federal University Wukari in Taraba State. Describing the killings as one too many, the groups say the Jukun and Tiv communities in the state are willing to embrace peace and live in harmony for growth and development to thrive.
We are here to further strengthen the unity of this country. We have to register our grievances to the federal government about the insecurity that has been happening in Benue and Taraba State.
The recent upsurge in violence and communal wars in Taraba State calls for deep concern.
They are urging government to thoroughly investigate the conflict between the communities and prosecute those found culpable. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Now, mixed reactions have continued to trail the latest proscription of all youth bodies in the state by the River State government. Chiazala Mikiye has details.
The concept behind the formation of a state is security. Hence, the state exists to ensure there is peaceful coexistence among the people. But when this responsibility is being threatened, then drastic measures must be taken. Hence, the River State government on the 8th of August made a bold statement by proscribing all youth groups in the state.
If you want to operate, you must get clearance of the SSS and the police. Because those of them who run for the leadership of these associations or youth bodies, we have come to find out that most of them are cultists.
We owe it a duty to push out these bad elements that are causing problems to the society.
However, this development, no doubt, has been greeted with divergent opinions.
So for the government to have come up with this decision, I think is the best. Yes, it is obvious that some of the youths are involved in the violence, but it is not all the youths.
While the debate on the legality of this decision lingers, the new law stipulates that all youth organizations that plans to operate must first be profiled by security agencies. This, the government believes, will give way for lasting peace in the state. Chiazalam Ekie, NTA News.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari says the best Salah gift he would like to receive from any public servant is the resolve to discharge assigned responsibilities diligently with a sense of patriotism and conscience towards ensuring that the next level agenda bequeaths worthy legacies for posterity. The president stated this while receiving various government officials and other interest groups on traditional Salah homage in Daura. He promised to remain steadfast in fighting for the poor. State House correspondent Adam Sambo has more.
Amongst those who paid Salah homage on the president were the Deputy Senate President Ovi Omo Agege and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Some ministers designate chief executive officers of some critical organs of government and other personalities also stood to be counted. President Muhammadu Buhari told his guests that being in the last lap of his administration, nothing will be left to chance in his determination to bequeath a peaceful, stable and prosperous Nigeria for generations yet unborn. This, he said, can only be achieved if government officials discharge their duties properly and with high sense of responsibility in line with the ideals of the next level agenda. Some of the visitors to Daura spoke to NTA News.
Going forward, the National Assembly, most especially the Senate, that we're ready to provide the enabling environment for the content of the next level agenda to be implemented.
As his foot soldiers and lieutenants in the various offices, we will continue to do our best to ensure that we create an enabling environment for him to be able to deliver on the dividends of democracy he has promised the people of this country.
Appointing me as a minister is enough for me to make sure that any trust that is given to me, I deliver it 100%. I believe that we will do our best and we will not disappoint him.
The very huge tax that he has placed on our hands, we will deliver it to the end. We are right on course, and inshallah, within the shortest frame of time, we will deliver on all the promises that we made.
President Muhammadu Buhari also played host to various interest groups in Daura Emirate led by Yusuf Bello Mai Adua. Alhaji Mai Adua, alongside the youth and women leaders in the area, appreciated the president for his efforts at dismantling national development obstacles for sustainable growth and development of the country. They were particularly delighted with the recent approval for the establishment of a federal polytechnic in Daura, the Back to Learn initiative, as well as the rescue of Magajingarin Daura from abductors.
We will continuously support him in the aspect of taking Nigeria to the next level. What we need is prayer.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who commended the people for their trust and confidence in his leadership and the governing APC, promised to remain steadfast in meeting genuine aspirations of the country. The fight against insecurity, corruption, as well as the economic diversification drive he maintained will continue to be pursued with vigor as a deliberate attempt at taking Nigeria to the next level. More messages of goodwill and support are still pouring into Daura. From Daura, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Nigerians are claimed to be very religious, but then exemplifying what they profess is proving to be difficult. This, guests on NTA's Tuesday Live say, is the reason why corruption and other social vices that hamper on the unity and progress of the country persist. Joseph Johnson reports.
Nigeria is widely known as one of the most religious nations in the world, but the irony, many say, remains how the same religion has over the years become the bane of Nigeria's unity. Guests on Tuesday Live, while relating the lessons of Eid al-Kabir to peace building, highlighted politicization of religion, religious bigotry and non-adherence to tenets of their faiths as some of the causes of religious conflicts in the country.
The problem of the worship places is for these places to be able to purge out who? Accidental pastors, accidental imams, freelance pastors, and so on and so forth, because it is a serious spiritual and moral business.
Today, there is no reward for doing good in this country. How many religious leaders are being honored in this nation because of their commitment or their dedication to this nation?
Others suggested for the creation of a federal Ministry of Religious Affairs to coordinate religious and faith-based organizations.
If Nigeria is such a religious country, 80% religious people, why is it difficult for the federal government, state governments to have
Ministry of Religious Affairs.
There cannot be peace without justice. For peace building, let us promote reconciliation.
I want the government itself to invite the religious leaders officially. Please talk to these young men and women. Tell them what God says on how to behave. The religious leader himself, he should know that whatever he is doing, he is going to be accountable.
While the celebration of Salah eases out the lessons and essence of the season, the guests noted hopefully will keep the Muslims and indeed Nigerians unified, even in their diversities. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
As a demonstration of the recent restoration of peace in Zamfara State, a spectacular Fulani cultural display was held in Gusau, the state capital, as part of activities to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir festival. Jamil Ibrahim reports that a display of a particular popular Fulani custom, which had been dominant in a while, was on display.
Oro, which literally means flogging, is a very historic Fulani cultural festival that demonstrates the taste of endurance, bravery and manhood in a dramatic way. It is said to have existed since the emergence of Fulani as a people and is celebrated in Nigeria and some other West African countries, mostly during the Eid al-Kabir festival. The popular Fulani custom had, however, been dormant in Zamfara State for nearly 10 years. As a result of the spate of insecurity that had bedeviled the state. With the recent restoration of relative peace in all parts of the state, the state government flagged up the revival of the Sharu alongside other cultural display as part of activities to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir festivity. The event held at Trade Fair Complex Gusau was well attended by the Fulani and their Hausa counterparts from across the 14 local government areas of the state, including Governor Bello Muhammad and other top government officials who dressed in typical Fulani attires. The event is not only aimed at demonstrating the restoration of peace in Zamfara State, but also showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the Hausa Fulani and the revival of the peaceful coexistence between the two ethnic groups.
This is another way of complete resolution between the Fulani and the Hausa communities.
This is the first time in the history of Zamfara this gathering is done. And what this gathering means is bringing the unity.
So we are hoping that with this time of coming together, I think peace will also continue to prevail in the state.
I believe, inshallah, the peace has come to Zamfara State and it will continue to reign.
Governor Bello Muhammad charged all stakeholders to remain supportive of the peace initiative, stressing that his administration is committed to ensuring the sustenance of the faith. Similar event is built to hold at the headquarters of each of the 14 local government areas of the state in due course. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Beautiful cultural display there. And from Zamfara, we take you now to Kaduna, where health facilities receive a boost. Let's join Suleiman, who has more details of this report and other stories from Kaduna.
Much, Rhoda, and a warm welcome to the Center of Learning. President Alpha Conde of Guinea was among prominent individuals who witnessed the traditional Hawan Nasarawa led by Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, to the government house. It is a tradition observed on the third day of Salah. Abdullahi Mustafa has the report.
Hawan Nasarawa is the third in the series of Dawah processions during Salah celebrations in Kano. It was first observed by late Emir Abbas, who ruled between 1903 and 1919. Emir Muhammad Sanusi II was during this year's outing received by Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje and President Alpha Conde of the Republic of Guinea. Governor Ganduje, who thanked the Emir's contributions to the successful implementation of government policies and programs, expressed readiness to continue to work with the monarch in the implementation of free and compulsory education initiative of his administration. Part of it is strategies to address the menace of street begging and hawking among school-age children.
I'm sending a memo to the Northern States Governors Forum so that we have a common legislation in order to prevent the movement of Almajiri school-age children.
The Emir, while congratulating the governor on the successful and peaceful Salah celebration, assured him of Kano Emirates' continued support to government's programs and initiatives. Salah celebrations end in Kano on Thursday with the traditional Hawan Paniso by the Emir. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Kaduna State Government is to fast-track the completion of its abandoned specialist hospital at Millennium City in Kaduna with the resumption of work on the project. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Work on the 300-bed specialist hospital was suspended about 10 years ago after attaining appreciable level. It was conceived to provide modern healthcare services and reduce medical tourism, as well as the pressure on other health facilities in the state. Already contractors have been mobilized to site to complete the hospital without further delay. The state's Deputy Governor, Hadiza Balaribe, inspected the progress of work and urged the contractor to hasten.
Specialty hospital, so we're going to treat cases that are beyond our general hospitals here. And I think we'll have a component of operations research because whatever it is that we can't do there, we should be able to take them here. And they should be able to provide us with with answers to some of disease conditions that might not be commonly, seen within our general hospitals.
With the renewed move by government, the contractor has promised to actualize the project in 9 months. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
In a bid to ensure effective and hitch-free operations in air environment for national defense and security, the Nigerian Air Force has trained additional air traffic controllers and firefighters. The report. Training in air traffic control and firefighting remains key to air operations environment. This set of graduates were trained with required skills to facilitate the capacity of the Nigerian Air Force for appropriate and timely deployment of air power, especially in dealing with security challenges in Nigeria.
I make bold to say that the staff have done their best to ensure that the highest standard and center's tradition of excellence is sustained.
The training, which was carried out by the Nigeria College of Aviation Zaria, spanned 8 weeks. Rector of the college, Captain Abdusalam Mohammed, acknowledged the effectiveness of the courses offered with emphasis to current trends in combating crimes.
More and more airports are being coming up in the country, and also with the current security challenges, the Nigerian Air Force has a lot of bases from which they are operating. So there is a need for these personnel to go in and be part of the efforts.
50 air personnel enrolled for the training, but the death of one and inability of another to meet aviation course standard resulted to the graduation of 48 from 2019 air traffic control assistance and firefighting course. And that does it from Kaduna. Is back to you, Rhoda, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. The major concern of motorists and commuters while on Kano metropolitan roads is traffic gridlock, especially along the entry points. This is due to the influx of people to the city on a daily basis. It is in this view that is concerned that the state government embarked on the provision of additional infrastructure in strategic locations across the city. Abdullahi Mustafa visited one of the sites and put together this report.
Zaria Road is one of the ever-busy streets of Kano metropolis. It is the main entrance to the city for people and goods coming from north, central and southern part of Nigeria. Zaria Road also connects some densely populated areas in the southwest and southeastern parts of the city. The traffic congestion in this axis informs Kano State Government's decision to build a 3-in-1 interchange at the Dengi junction of the road.
This 3-in-1 mega project consists of underpass, overpass and flyover, and was awarded by Kano State Government 14 months ago, and at present it reaches 90% completion stage, and part of it has already been put to use.
With the partial opening of the facility, there is now free flow of vehicular traffic.
The road is excellent. I've been to so many countries in the world. It's precisely the same that we've seen overseas. So I wish to congratulate the governor.
When you will find your way at the roundabout, you go.
Before now, there is
hold on. Now there is not there.
It is expected that the remaining work on the mega infrastructure will be completed before the end of third quarter of this year.
The contractor is on site day and night, and government has given all the necessary resources to see to its completion in the very near future.
Road users plying the road are not only happy with this development, but are also looking forward to more of it in all parts of the state. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Traders at the spare part market in Uwelu, Benin City are counting their losses following a fire outbreak in the early hours of Tuesday. Adogbaji Ojegba reports that the properties and wares worth billions of naira were lost to the inferno. We now join Dotu in Lagos for stories making the rounds over there. Dotu, it's good to see you.
Thank you, Rhoda, and welcome to Lagos. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned Abdullahi Babalile and Uyekwen Giwa Osage, both associates of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, before Justice Nicholas Oweibo of the Federal High Court, Lagos. They were charged for money laundering to the tune of $140,000 and $2 million, respectively. Abolore Ogbara has the report.
The EFCC had filed a 3-count charge against a legal practitioner, Uyekwe Giwa Osage, for allegedly laundering $2 million meant for the 2019 general election. Atiku's son-in-law, Abdullahi Babalile, was also arraigned before Justice Nicholas Oweibo on a 2-count charge with a sum of $140,000. The duo pleaded not guilty of all the allegations. The defense counsels, Ahmed Raji SAN and Mike Ozekome SAN, asked the court to grant them bail on the ground of self-recognizance and on liberal terms. The prosecution counsel, Rotimi Oyedepo, on the other hand, said he got the information on the bail application late and requested for more time to file the counter affidavit on the case. The defense counsel, Ahmed Raji SAN, said since the case is a bailable offense, the court should grant the bail applications.
If at the end of the day, they're just going to be fined, why do you have to imprison them from now on? And they are not accusing them of stealing money. It's just mere infraction of financial regulations.
We have informed the court that we have our facts that we want to depose to in counter affidavit, so in opposition to the application for bail. But the discussion whether or not to grant is within my lord.
Abdullahi Babalile was arrested by the EFCC in February this year on allegation of vote buying and placed on administrative bail while investigations continue. Justice Oweibo, however, gave a ruling on adjournment of motion for bail and hearing for the 15th of August. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
In order to have professionally responsive officers in a discharge of their constitutional roles, the Nigerian Army 81 Division has flagged off this year's combat proficiency competition in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
For the Nigerian Army to sustain its victory over insurgency and other forms of criminality, the need for training and capacity building cannot be overemphasized. The combat proficiency competition, according to Logistics Command, is aimed at improving the leadership qualities of the combating officers and to enhance their professional competence.
Required for them to discharge their duties professionally in line with the vision of Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai. It promises to foster team spirit among the officers and to enhance their professional competence. It will also grill the competitors on 2.4-kilometer endurance run and obstacle crossing. Other aspects of the competition are map reading, communication skills, and combat swimming.
The combat competition is featuring weapon handling, shooting, stripping and assembling of rifles, tug of war, among others. 4 formations of the Nigerian Army are participating in the one-week competition. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Rhoda in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Dotun. 2 people lost their lives, with some sustaining injuries as a result of flood that wreaked havoc on Jigar community in Patiskam of Yobe State after a late-night heavy downpour. The flood destroyed many houses, farmlands and graveyards in the area. Aisha Mohammed Saleh has the report.
Jigawa area beside NTA Community Station in Potiskum town along Bauchi Jos Road affected by flood disaster after a heavy downpour that left residents counting their losses. Residents also confirmed the death of one person and another one missing, suspected to be swept away in the flood waters, with some sustaining injuries in collapsed buildings. The mother of the missing boy, Adama Zakari, said she is still coming to terms with the calamity that befell her family with the missing of Abubakar Saidu. My son, Abubakar, was sent to an errand when the flood swept him away. The affected residents who spoke to NTA News revealed that they began to face flood threats since the construction of the bypass, which they claimed has blocked waterways leading to their area. This rain season comes with a lot of floods to this area. We really need help. Government should help us. We just woke up in the morning and found ourselves surrounded by water, which destroyed our properties. The rampaging flood water destroyed many houses, farmlands, and the graveyards in the area. In Damatru, Aisha Mohammed Saleh, NTA News.
We'll take another break now. When we come back, we have more. Stay with us.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
With heavy hearts but total submission to the will of God Almighty, we announce the passing on to glory of our beloved brother, husband, father, uncle, cousin, and nephew, Akinloye Olusegun Joseph Oyebanji, who slept in the Lord on July 27, 2019. Burial arrangements: Christian wake on August 15 at Akinloye's residence, Kionigbi, Isin local government area of Kwara State, at 5 p.m. Funeral service and Thanksgiving held on August 16 at All Saints Anglican Church, Okionigbi, at 10 a.m. before interment at the church spirit ground at Okionigbi in Kwara State. Rest in peace, Akinloye Oyebanji. Signed, Olubunmi Oyebanji, for the family.
You're welcome back. But just before we go, let's take a quick check on the weather prospect for the rest of today. All right, and that does it on Nationwide for today. Remember, for more news updates or for some of our stories, you can follow us on all our social media platforms. Stay with us here on the NTA for more news updates. On behalf of myself and the crew, we thank you for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.